your brain is lying to you. It tells you a simple story, that time is a one-way street. The past is gone, the future is unknown, and you are stuck in the present. But what if that story is wrong? What if our perception of time isn't just a mental construct, but something we can physically feel, even if we don't understand how? We call it intuition, a sixth sense, a coincidence. But what if it's none of those things? What if it's a hidden feature of human biology, a biological radio receiver tuning into faint signals from the immediate future? What if your body is hardwired to predict the unpredictable? Today, we look at the stunning scientific proof that says it is. For the last 30 years, in labs all over the world, scientists have been quietly documenting a glitch in that programming. A repeatable, measurable phenomenon that proves your body is receiving messages from your own future. It's a discovery that could rewrite the laws of cause and effect, and it proves that you are not just walking into the future, you are feeling its echo before it arrives. Get ready to have your reality tilted on its axis. You have tuned in to Summary Thought, the place where we explore the biggest, most challenging ideas on the planet. Today, we are diving headfirst into a scientific paper that sounds like it was ripped from the pages of a Philip K. Dick novel. It's called Predicting the Unpredictable, and it's a masterpiece of investigation led by researcher Julia A. Mossbridge. This paper isn't just one person's wild idea. It's a giant review of over 30 years of research that all points to one earth-shattering conclusion. Your body knows what's going to happen seconds before it does. This is a journey that will make you question the very nature of time itself. First, we're going to uncover this hidden human superpower that scientists have given a name to. Then we're going to step into the lab and witness the jaw-dropping experiments that detected it. After that, we'll play detective and take on the skeptics, examining the clues to see if all of this is just an elaborate mistake. From there, we're going to explore the truly mind-bending explanations for how this could possibly be real, taking a trip to the strange world of quantum physics. And finally, we will look into the crystal ball and imagine the unbelievable science fiction technologies this discovery could unleash upon the world. This isn't just science, it's a revelation about what it means to be human. So get comfortable and prepare to be amazed. Part 1. Your body's secret time machine. So, what is this hidden ability? The scientists in this paper call it predictive anticipatory activity, or PAA for short. But let's ditch the jargon. Think of it as your body's built-in early warning system. It's not a conscious thought. It's not a psychic vision. It's a purely physical, totally unconscious reaction to an important event that hasn't happened yet. The paper gives us a perfect way to picture this. Imagine your life, your conscious awareness, is a river flowing forward in time. Now, imagine something big is about to happen. You're about to get a huge shock, or see something incredibly beautiful, or hear amazing news. That future event is like a giant rock being dropped into the river just a little way downstream from you. Now, of course, the biggest splash, the biggest waves, will all happen after the rock hits the water. That's your normal, conscious reaction. You see the scary monster, then you scream. You get the great news, then you feel overjoyed.
Cause.
And then effect. Simple. But this paper asks us to look closer. Right before that giant rock plummets into the water, what happens on the surface of the river? The air pressure changes. The water molecules shift. A tiny, almost invisible ripple forms and travels upstream, against the current. It's a faint echo of the future splash. That tiny upstream ripple is PAA. It's your body's physiology, your heart, your sweat glands, your nervous system, reacting to the faint ripples that a future emotional event sends backward in time. You're not consciously aware of it because you're focused on the big, obvious downstream splash of your emotions. But the whisper from the future is there, and scientists have built machines that can hear it. Part 2. Inside the Future Lab. So how on earth do you prove something so incredible? Welcome to the Future Lab. Imagine you volunteered for one of these experiments. It's a comfortable, quiet room. A friendly scientist attaches a few small sensors to your fingertips to measure the tiny, invisible changes in your sweat levels. They place a little clip on your earlobe to monitor your heart rate. It's all completely painless. They're just listening to your body's subtle language. You're sitting in front of a plain computer screen. The experimenter tells you, all you have to do is relax and watch the screen. The experiment begins. For 5 seconds, the screen is blank. This is the most important part. During this silence, the computer is recording you. It's listening to your heart, to your skin. Then, a picture flashes on the screen for 3 seconds. Sometimes, the picture is incredibly boring. A fork, a book, a brick wall. This is a neutral picture. Other times, the picture is designed to jolt you. It might be a terrifying, snarling wolf, or a beautiful, erotic image, or a picture of a horrific car crash. This is an emotional picture. After the picture vanishes, the screen goes blank again for a while, and the whole cycle repeats. Here's the crucial part. The computer is programmed to choose the pictures completely at random. There is no pattern. Nobody in the world, not you, not the scientist, knows whether the next picture will be boring or a shock. It is truly, genuinely unpredictable. The scientists run this experiment over and over, collecting mountains of data. Then they go back and look at those 5-second silent periods, the moments before a picture appeared. And this is where the magic happens. Time and time again in lab after lab, for over 30 years, they found the same impossible thing. In the seconds before an emotional picture was about to be randomly selected by the computer, people's bodies started to react. Their heart rates would subtly change. Their skin would register a tiny spike in conductivity. Their nervous systems were already firing up, getting ready for the emotional hit that was coming. But in the silent seconds before a boring, neutral picture appeared, nothing. Calm as can be. Let that sink in. Your body isn't just reacting to the world. It's anticipating it. It's reading the script of your life a few lines ahead. When they combined the results from all 26 experiments, the pattern was so clear it was basically impossible to ignore. The chances of this all being just a random fluke? Less than 1 in a trillion. This is a real phenomenon. Your body is sensing the unpredictable future. Part 3. The case for the unbelievable. Now, if you're like me, a little red flag of skepticism is probably going up in your mind. This sounds too good to be true. Couldn't the scientists be making a mistake? The paper takes this very seriously and plays detective, investigating the 2 most likely culprits that could be faking this whole effect. Now, if you're a good detective, your first suspect should always be human error. This brings us to culprit number 1, the sneaky scientist. In the science world, there's a problem nicknamed p-hacking. It's the idea that if you look at your data in enough different ways, you can eventually find an exciting pattern, even if it's just a coincidence. It's exactly like staring at clouds. If you stare long enough, you'll eventually find one that looks like a dragon. The danger is convincing yourself you've discovered a real dragon when it's just a random puff of vapor. So, how do you prove you're not just seeing imaginary dragons in your data? The authors of Predicting the Unpredictable did something brilliant. They decided to look at a measurement that was super simple. They focused only on the studies that measured the sweat response on the skin. This measurement has very few knobs to fiddle with. You can't really squint or turn your head to make the data look more exciting. It's much harder to mistake a simple circle for a dragon. And the verdict? Even when looking at this simple, hard-to-fake data, the future-seeing effect was still there, loud and clear. Culprit number 1 was not our guy. This brings us to our second culprit, the logical guesser. We all have this voice in our heads. If a coin lands on heads 4 times in a row, this is the voice that screams. The next one has to be tails. It's the part of our brain that sees what just happened and tries to logically guess what will happen next. The big question was, is this future sense just the body getting excited by one of these logical guesses? So, the researchers checked. They designed experiments to quiet that loud guesser in our brains, maybe by increasing the time between showing the pictures so you forgot the previous picture before watching the next picture. And what they found was stunning. The future-seeing effect didn't go away. It got even stronger. It turns out, our brain's constant attempt to logically guess what's next is like loud static. It actually interferes with our body's true, quiet intuition. The real signal was there all along, hiding underneath the noise of our own thoughts. Part 4. A glitch in time. So, if it's not a mistake, and it's not a guess, what on earth is it? How can the effect happen before the cause? This is where our journey takes a turn into the truly mind-bending. The paper explores a couple of wild possibilities that could completely change how we think about reality. One idea is that our conscious mind is essentially living on a time delay. Imagine your unconscious mind is the one truly at the controls, experiencing the world in real time. It sees the scary wolf picture, and instantly it hits all the emergency buttons, heart rate up, adrenaline pumping, get ready. Then, like a thoughtful assistant, it packages that whole experience, the wolf, the physical reaction, into a neat, orderly story and delivers it to your conscious mind a second later. In this scenario, you think you see the wolf and then get scared, but in reality, your body got scared and saw the wolf at almost the same time, and your consciousness just got the memo a little late. It's a cool idea, but the paper argues it doesn't quite fit the evidence from the labs, where computers timestamp the events with ruthless precision. The physical reaction is really, truly happening before the picture even appears on the screen. This forces us to consider a far more radical explanation, one that comes from the weirdest part of science: quantum physics. For a long time, we thought the bizarre rules of the quantum world, where a particle can be in two places at once and the future can seemingly affect the past, only applied to tiny, non-living things. But new discoveries are showing quantum effects happening inside our own bodies, in our own biology. What if our entire nervous system is a kind of quantum computer? In the quantum world, time isn't always a straight arrow. The idea of retrocausality, literally backward causation, is a real, though debated, concept. It suggests that actions in the future can send ripples backward through time to influence the past. What if your body's powerful emotional reaction to seeing that future picture of a wolf is creating a tiny quantum wave that travels backward in time by a few seconds? This retrocausal wave would arrive in the present moment, gently nudging your nervous system, changing your heart rate, and causing your skin to tingle. Your body isn't seeing the future. It's feeling the shockwave of its own future reaction. We are, in essence, living in the ripples of our own future experiences. This is deep, speculative territory, but it's where the evidence is pushing us to look. Part 5. The future of future sensing. This isn't just a philosophical funhouse. If this effect is real, it has practical, world-changing implications. If we can detect these faint signals from the future in a lab, can we build a device that amplifies them and turns them into a clear warning? The paper calls these potential devices PAA sensing tools, or PAASTs. And this is where science fiction becomes science fact. Think back to a soldier on patrol in a danger zone. Imagine they are wearing a small device, a PAST, that constantly monitors their unique, personal physiological signals. The device isn't looking for bombs. It's looking for the soldier's own body. It has been trained to recognize the specific, unconscious physical signature that their body produces seconds before the massive emotional and physical shock of an IED explosion. 10 seconds before the unthinkable happens, an alarm goes off in the soldier's earpiece. It's their own body's future reaction, translated into a warning they can use right now. 10 seconds is an eternity. It's enough time to dive for cover. It's enough time to save a life. But wait, you might think this creates a paradox. If the soldier gets the warning and takes cover, they aren't injured. They don't experience the huge shock they were supposed to have. So, what created the signal in the first place? The paper suggests this might not be a paradox in the real world. Perhaps the intense emotional experience of a near-death escape, the overwhelming relief and terror of almost dying, is itself a powerful enough event to send that signal back in time. As the paper beautifully puts it, there may be a theoretical paradox here, but perhaps not a practical one. The bottom line is the soldier is safe, and the potential is limitless. Imagine a PAAST for a surgeon, giving them a few seconds warning before a patient's body is about to crash. A device for a firefighter that warns them just before a roof collapses. A system in your car that senses your own body's precognitive reaction to a future accident and engages the brakes before your conscious mind even sees the danger. We could be on the verge of building a technology that literally allows us to harness our own intuition, to listen to the whispers from our own future. We are just at the beginning of understanding this incredible phenomenon. But the work of Julia Mossbridge and the hundreds of other scientists in this field has opened a door. And through that door, we can see a new vision of ourselves, not as passive observers in a world where time flows in one direction, but as active participants in a much stranger, more mysterious, and more magical reality than we ever dared to imagine. Our future may not be written in stone, but it seems to be whispering to us. The question is, are we ready to listen? You've been exploring the edges of reality with us here at Summary Thought. If this story sparked your curiosity and made you feel the wonder of the unknown, then help us spread that feeling. Send your own positive ripple into the world by liking this video, subscribing to join our community of thinkers, and sharing this with anyone who you think is ready to have their mind blown. Let's keep questioning, keep learning, and keep listening to the future together.